Hello, shortcuts. Here we are with video 2. This is a classic rock, straight down the line. Actually, a little bit of blues as well. As I said in the previous video, video number 1, anyone who gets this reference down with this sort of thing, careful now. First, put it in the comments, gets $5 credit, and why not? I've debated as to what the starting record should be. Just as a reminder for everyone, this is a preview. The price list will go out at 9 p.m. on Wednesday. If you have any questions in between, please let me know. I have decided to kick things off with this. The Japanese first press of INXS's breakthrough record, Listen Like Thieves. It's absolutely magnificent. It has this. You ready for these, folks? Look at that. Oh yeah. First time I have ever seen one of those. The poster, the cover is incredible. Can you see the shadow of the girl? I have never noticed that before. It's also still got the purchase receipt and a little blurb of other records. It is magnificent. Listen Like Thieves. What you need, their breakthrough hit. They needed a hit, and they wrote it in a couple of hours, apparently. Anyway, as I said, I debated what should I kick things off with. Since we're in Australia, let's kick it off with that. That is a rare and beautiful thing. An immaculate copy of Listen Like Thieves with poster. And a little bit on the side, maybe an hors d'oeuvre to the main course. What about this? The Japanese first press of Goanna, Spirit in Place. The first Aussie folk rock record in the charts that heavily featured a didgeridoo, and rather lovely it is too. There you go. That's maybe a first. I've had 2 Japanese presses of great Aussie rock kicking off the list. I love it. And look what it displaced. Are you ready? Hunky Dory. David Bowie. Look at that sleeve. You know, that was originally a monochrome picture, and it was coloured in by an artist after the fact. They originally thought that they might, create an image for David Bowie that almost looked a little bit like a pharaoh, but it turned out looking more like an effete kind of Evelyn Waugh type image. But then this colouring gives it this amazing impact. And he's utterly gorgeous in that photo, isn't he? And what a record. But what a history to this record. I mean, being kind, you might say, it wasn't a commercial success when it was first released. On another way to put it is it was somewhat of a flop. The reviews were extraordinary. The reviews raved. Changes, Oh You Pretty Thing, eight-line poem, Life on Mars, Cooks, Quicksand. And that's just side one. And then these incredible tribute songs. Andy Warhol, a song for Bob Dylan, the Bewlay Brothers on side 2. Of course, it has its quirks. Every David Bowie record does. But this one tops many Bowie aficionados' list of their favourite for a reason. It's beautiful. Now, what happened to this record to make it move to the top 3 in the charts quite a while after it was released. What happened was Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy was a hit. And this record, which was released before Ziggy, caught a tailwind off the back of that incredible record. That is a beautiful Japanese pressing. Like all Bowie records, the Japanese presses are great. So I can't recommend that highly enough. First time it's ever appeared on a shortcuts list. David Bowie, Hunky Dory. This is the record that almost elbowed out In Excess as the kickoff. Just because maybe you've worked out from you may have worked out from Ireland. How about this? Rory Gallagher's Irish Tour, 1974. Look at that. This record is legendary in Ireland for all sorts of reasons. One, Irish people love Rory Gallagher. His voice, his Stratocaster playing, his energy is amazing. He recorded this album touring from Belfast to Dublin to Cork. Played, 10, 11 shows over the course of a few weeks. And there's no way of knowing what performance from what show. It's not notated in anything on the record. But this was the height of the Troubles. 74 was a rough period. Not many bands were touring. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Again, the Japanese insistence on the quality of the sleeves, I just think are incredible. Look at that. It really wasn't safe, but he did it. Made the record, released it. For my money, one of the greatest blues albums of the 70s, bar none. And it, happens to be from a kind of plaid-wearing white Irish guy. If you don't know this record, seek it out. And this Japanese pressing is incendiary. It is an amazing album. I've been trying to get another copy of this for donkeys. And there it is, and it's in fantastic condition. This is also a great live blues album. Hold on. Half a live blues album. 1969. Pink Probe. You see this? It's good. This is B.B. King's Live and Well. One half live recording, one half in the studio. One half produced by Phil Ramone, one half produced by someone who I can't remember. Bill Zimick, maybe. This is a cracking B.B. King live record. And again, I'm just going to keep showing off these sleeves. Another hard cardboard gatefold. There you go. With really cool notes from Bill Zimick and who's kind of renowned for string arrangements and all sorts of amazing things. He did some incredible stuff with B.B. King, particularly records like Indianola, Mississippi Seeds, and Completely Well, which followed this one. But it's a very, very fine B.B. King record indeed, and it's on that Pink Probe label, so it sounds great. Now we've got a bunch of, I'm going to push out those. There's a little bit of kind of shortcuts royalty further down the list, but I'm going to show a few that are a little bit kind of, haven't had too many of these over the years. This is a cracking album. The Allman Brothers' fourth record, Brothers and Sisters, after the absolutely tragic death of Duane Allman. They made this. Again, lovely gatefold record. Ramblin' Man, Jessica, Southbound. I guess Dickie Betts kind of took over the band to a certain extent, but they did not dishonor Duane Allman with this record. It's pretty great. This next one is very different. So this record, I think, it has to be the progenitor of thrash metal. You listen to this record, Motorsmith's No Sleep Till Hammersmith. This is a Japanese first press on the Bronze label. You listen to this, it is breakneck speed. And it went to number one in the UK. Absolutely unbelievable. How does this happen? This band of kind of, I don't know, how do you describe Lemmy? Coming out of his Hawkwind days and making music like this. It's got the original Japanese inserts. The lyric sheet. Those lyrics are really something. Some photos from the tour. There you go. Recorded, I like this. Recorded live in England, surrounded by maniacs. It's just a phenomenal record. Yeah, and it sounds great. Oh, Japanese pressing. I mean, it's breakneck, but fun. Talking about fun, I'm going to go here next. So, the Rolling Stones released some EPs in the 63, 64 period. Mono rock and roll recordings. They're really raw and really good. They're very, very, very hard to find. But the Japanese had this series that they did, I think it was like mid-70s, where they reproduced on mono, on really high quality vinyl, these Rolling Stones EPs. But what they did, it's really odd. They put each of them, firstly, let me show you the label. Because even the label itself is just fun all through this thing. So this is a promo copy. So have a look at where the spindle hole is. Man. So Rolling Stones side 2, You Better Move On. And a really, really fun cover version of the Leiber and Stoller classic Poison Ivy. On side 1, Bye Bye Johnny and Money. So that's the kind of the label. But that's not where the fun ends. This thing is truly bizarre. Because, I'm going to show you the back end first. So there's a full reproduction of the EP and with the obi. But I don't know if you can see there. They inlaid a condom, a mini condom in the obi. And there you have it. The full reproduction of the Stones, the Rolling Stones EP. One of their first, if not, I can't remember whether it's the first or maybe second, but it's very early Stones with a really, really odd, weird, and rather delightful added extra. Lock up your daughters. The Rolling Stones are coming to town. In fact, my apologies, not 72, this is 1982 this series went out. Isn't that delightful? I'm going to go here next as well, because I do think this soundtrack is pretty special. And part of the reason this particular copy is special is because it is a Japanese first press. So that means it's on red translucent vinyl, and it is the Japanese first press of the soundtrack to Easy Rider. There's the Japanese notes, albeit there is an insert with the lyrics. So part of what makes this record rather unusual and unique is that in the movie, the song "The Weight" by the band is given quite a prominent scene, and the soundtrack record actually tracks to the movie. So every song that appears in the soundtrack is in the order that it appears in the movie. And because the soundtrack started to become a thing, when the movie was a big hit, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Stateside Records decided to release the soundtrack, and they went to get the rights to all of the various songs, and I think it was Island Records held out on the song rights for The Wait by the band, and so they re-recorded it. They got a band to cover it. I can't remember who they're called. It's here. I think the band were called something silly like Smith or something really nondescript, and so they got around it by making a cover version, which is pretty interesting. And it's not a bad cover version, but the soundtrack's iconic. Steppenwolf and others. Japanese red vinyl first press. So now we've got some royalty. In fact, I'm going to start with this one because I don't get this one too often. This is Elton's fifth record, Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player, which of course featured songs like Daniel and I'm Only... let me see what else is on here. Yeah, Daniel's the kickoff track, and Crocodile Rock, of course, was the other big hit. But I also wanted to show you this, because the Japanese first press had this rather lovely lyric insert, but it also has this. It's very odd. It's called Elderberry Wine, and in this are the lyric sheets, but also some very odd and interesting pictures of Sir Elton John in various states of repose or mayhem. And you get pictures like this, which I think are pretty sweet. Look at that. Yeah. I'm going to be a teenage idol. That you were, Mr. John. That you were. He often said about this record that this was the first record where he really found his voice. He felt he could experiment a little bit more, try different tenor, different tones. And it's rather fabulous. Okay, now 4 records here that I'm just going to flick by. All 4 of these, of course, I constantly get feedback going, holy crap, these sound amazing. Japanese pressings of Rumours, Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin 2. I always ask for this P10101A because you guys tell me this thing sounds stellar, and this is an immaculate copy. It is practically mint. This is so popular amongst you guys. The Hey Jude record, which, is a compilation of a series of tracks that didn't make it onto records, but would be standouts for just about any other band. Hey Jude, Revolution, Paperback Writer, Lady Madonna, Can't Buy Me Love, Don't Let Me Down, Ballad of John and Yoko, my personal favourite, Rain, which is one of my favourite bass lines. So there you go. And then finally, the utterly wonderful Remain in Light, Talking Heads. I have this pressing. It sounds amazing. So there you have it. There's a rock and roll and blues lineup for you. As always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've heard or saw something interesting. Watch out at 9 o'clock to catch the latest Shortcuts list. And thank you all so much for supporting this little club. Without you all, I'd never be able to find these records. And there's always something special. So, thanks so much. And subscribe, leave me a comment, be kind. Apparently it helps. And I will see you all soon.